Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Skulk. Continuing the story of Winds of Change. Continuing the backstories, or the loyal stories, I should say. There's a lot of them. We're gonna get through 3 more, and then Sovies. Or 2, and then 2 and Sovies. 2 and 2? Possibly. I'm so sad I don't have my main friend's loyalties. You're not our loyalty. Okay. Well, I guess we'll go with you then. Yes. I stand alone in my room, swinging the blade from side to side. Everything feels different than it did back at the start of my journey. When I first touched the blade, I could barely even hold on to it. But now, I'm starting to master it. I'm able to make it my own. However, just as I think of that, the blade disappears from my hand. Ulrich laughs. And I turn around. Huh? What'd you do? I didn't even notice him come in.
Sorry, it's just an old prank I used to pull on Sovi. I'd take the blade from him when he least expected it. I guess it has a time and place. Sorry if I startled you.
No, it's funny. It was definitely funny, but I was, huh? I thought I was doing well and then just gone. He swings the blade a few times before handing it back to me. I shake my head. He didn't startle me. He was actually kind of funny.
I came here because I assumed you wanted answers. Learning I was the Grand Inquisitor must have been a shock. I'm glad you have a clear head. You could tell that I've changed.
Yeah.
But you deserve to know what I was like before I changed. In order to hide from my past, I haven't exactly been honest. But I wasn't lying to you. It was more like I was lying to myself.
In a way, it sort of makes sense. I just decided to let him talk. He approaches me and sits down on the bed. I sit beside him.
There was a man named Ulrich in Alarinthian legend. He pledged to change the nation, just like I always have. The barbaric way of running things was too much for him to bear. A lot of the specific details have been lost to time, but it goes like this. He was young, and his parents wanted the same thing, so they fought for it. They died in the arena, and Ulrich couldn't handle it. He ran away from the nation. But he pledged to return one day and change Alarinthia for good. The ideals passed on to him by his parents still live on to this day. That's likely what inspired Vivian to launch his own insurrection. Of course, the story that's handed down is never really the truth. To put it bluntly, I'm the same Ulrich. It's been so long, it's hard to believe. I'm sure you had your suspicions, so I just came here to confirm them for you.
Okay. Actually, it's a bit hard to believe, but let him continue.
My parents hated the way the nation was run. They passed that hatred down onto me as I grew up. But they got older. Before too long, they were decrepit. They could never change anything. So the burden was passed on to me, a rising star in the Colosseum. I never fought for leadership, just regular tournaments, but I never lost. One day, I guess the Triumvirate noticed how strong I was. They approached me. They told me that if I left Alarinthia behind, they'd train me. They'd give me the power to return one day and change everything. I was young and naive. I agreed without hesitation. I wanted to serve our gods. But before they accepted me, I had to prove that I was truly ready. Serving them would involve leaving everything behind. It'd be a fresh start. They devised a test for me, to make sure that I was truly ready to devote myself. They,
Like he's afraid to tell me what happened next.
They made me kill my parents.
Oh, gosh. What kind of gods would make you do that? He looks down on the floor.
In their eyes, it told them that I was truly ready to leave my old life behind. Because I was young and stupid, It made a twisted kind of sense in my head. I did what they told me to. But as they died, I told them I was making their dream a reality.
Holy crap. And why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? This is not a smiling moment.
I was caught and exiled into the desert. That's how I became a Sixer. I survived the trials, was branded with this tattoo, and showed my worth. Their test was over. They took me over to Balteus and made me their servant.
Oh boy.
I served them by weeding out insurrections and ensuring they remained in power. After what seemed like an eternity, they came up with the idea of giving me an apprentice. That's when I met Sobi. They preyed on his weakness and naivety much like they did mine. We worked together, traveling the world and killing the Triumvirate's enemies. Eventually I realized that they weren't good people. I defected and joined the rebellion. If the timeline seems confusing, it's because it is. We are talking about millennia here.
How did you gain so much lifespan? You lived for millennia?
They gave us the gift of immortality. Well, they called it a gift. We would never succumb to old age, and mortal wounds would easily fade. I felt unstoppable, like I was the king of the world. Nothing could get in my way.
He shrugs, clearly embarrassed to admitting such a fact. That's terrible.
But after a while, I realized it was a curse. It's crazy how much your perspective can shift so fast. Taking the dream of immortality into real life, it became a nightmare.
It can be. Never able to die. Death is kind of scary, because the path to death is that you're not going to be here anymore. But for me, it's not death that scares me. It's the pain that's going to process, the suffering. Because if you were to fall down those stairs, you're eventually going to and you break your spine or something like that, and you become immobile, and no one's there to help you. You can die slowly, and that's bad. That's just horrible. Suffering is horrible. So it's the dying process, the pain that scares me. But living forever is scarier because you're never gonna. The world will never end for you. Some people might want that, but I don't know if I do. But who knows? Who knows how things will turn out like that? Anyways. With a slight scoff, he stands up and turns around to face me.
They knew what they were doing. They were creating slaves. Using that blade, they gave us what they deemed eternal life. I know we can use the blade too, but we can't reverse it.
Dang.
That should have been the first sign. I thought we did this willingly, but we really had no choice. It was all or nothing, an ultimatum. The biggest red flag.
Oh.
I've had this curse for far too long. It's made me a bad person. I no longer seek love, because everybody I love is just lost to time. I no longer seek happiness, because it's never permanent. Never.
I see.
These fleeting emotions may mean a lot to you, but not me. It's an endless cycle of building myself up only to be cut back down. I thought I'd be like this until the world rotted away. Until I met you, that is.
He smiles.
Now there's somebody else who can use the blade. Somebody to lift this curse and give me my life back. My life belongs to your cause, Monarch, not theirs.
I hope I can end this.
So please, give me that life. Then, after that, I can give it to you.
Give what? I can remove the curse the Triumvirate put on him? That would be good, but then he'd be weak and vulnerable. No doubt the source of his strength is part due to his immortality. If I remove it, he could perish during our attack on Balteus, and easily. It'd be removing his biggest advantage, and I'm not sure what to do. It's what he wants. It's what he wants. It doesn't care. Who cares? He looks at me, awaiting my response. I don't know what to say next. I do. No. You could die. When I make a choice in this story and it says, are you corrupt or are you pure? I know this one's pure. Ancient history is the achievement. I tell him I'll remove the curse. His face lights up like I've never seen before.
Thank you. So much.
Of course. I grab the blade and try to figure out what to do. One thing was for sure. He'd soon have his life back. He would have the freedom to grow old and finally find peace. And before he leaves my room, I made sure that his dream becomes a reality. Now see, did I have to let him win? He said don't hold back, so I didn't. For her, she wanted the blades? Was that it? Aww. It'll be a poor reminder. For you, you wanted it. What the heck, story? Okay. Let's go, Dominic. Dominic leads me to the town square of Museo. Because of our recent conversations, I know what's going on. He's taking me to the spot where he lost his mother during the occupation. It must be hard for him. I can see him shaking as we walk through the town. But if facing this painful memory helped him move on, it was my duty to assist him. In the coming storm, he needed to be resolute. Helping him would help all of us.
I can't thank you enough for coming with me, Monarch. There's not many people I trust this much. I'm really glad I have you. Until today, I've only had dreams about doing this. But now, I'm strong enough.
I can actually attest to this. Some people, including myself, they need some kind of uplifting feeling or that certain nudge to help them do something, move on, or push forward. Some people are very enthusiastic and can do things on their own. I'm one of the people that I can do so much with the energy I have gained, stored from any joyful events that came around. But doing everything alone, I'd feel drained. But I might get that, I guess, second wind or burst of energy if I'm going, no, I can't feel this way from right now. They need me, or I need me, or something. And some people need that energy from someone else. It's just how emotions work in this world. They're strange. People don't fully understand them, even though you own them. They're your emotions, your feelings. Sometimes you just don't understand why do you like or dislike or feel this way. But anyways, are you the kind of person that doesn't need anybody to have your own burst of energy, your urge to do something? Or do you feel like you somewhat, not always, but somewhat rely on a little bit of a booster from someone else? Like someone cheering you on, saying, you can do it, come on, let me help you. Or something like that, to help you get moving. I'm kind of that way. There's a scale between them. I'm probably on that, a little bit on that end, but near the middle, I think. Here we go.
And honestly, it's all because of you. I give a little credit to my near-death experience, but not all of it. You've grown into a capable leader, and led us all down the right path.
He smiles, and I smile back. It was nice to receive some support after all we've been through. Being the monarch wasn't very easy, but was a weight I had to carry. We walked through the town square, taking back alleys for occasional shortcuts. After a while, we end up at a large open area. I'm surprised they haven't built shops here.
This is where town meetings are held. They don't happen very often, but they need a big open space. There's a lot of people in Museo, so everyone deserves a chance to attend.
Soon after that, however, his tone becomes more serious.
A lot of bodies in one place. That's just what they needed during the occupation. This is where it happened, Monarch. The stuff with my mother.
I nod at him as we take steps closer towards the center.
You may notice a crimson tint on the ground here. This is where they piled the bodies during the attack. So much blood. So much carnage. Permanently stained. Just like the memories in my head. As hard as I try, I can't just scrub those off either. Every other night I wake up in a cold sweat. Crying.
I'm sorry, man.
I feel the lingering touch of her hand against mine. Then, the moment she goes away, it makes me feel empty inside. There's nothing left to feel, except all those corpses pressed against me. A warmth that slowly dissipates, leaving me cold and alone. I had to stay under them until things died down. Almost a whole day. The moment I could, I got out and took her pendant along with me. It's all I have to remember her by, but perhaps that's why I can't let it go. How can you move on from something when you remind yourself of it every day? Just the thought, of course. But after all I've been through, at least it's a thought with merit.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking for Valessa. Why would she hold on to the daggers? It would just keep a constant reminder of her parents. That's why I said you'd hold them back, push them back, not keep them. But to the game, it's not loyalty worthy and dumb. And yeah, I already said my piece on that. I missed the chance to have their loyalty scenes. Gosh dang it, they're my friends. How are they not having their loyalty scenes? Okay. He holds up his hand and shows me the pendant he's holding. I've seen that a few times now. He seems to carry it with him everywhere. Of course, as he suggested, that also meant he carries the memory along as well.
Let's keep moving. I'll show you exactly where it happened. Just stay close to me, okay? This is hard.
I will. I nod and start to follow him as we venture deeper into the open area. A podium rests at the center, like where they hold these meetings from. Soon, I picture what this place looked like during the occupation. I cringe. After a while, Dominic stops dead in his tracks and looks down at the ground. His body language and reaction tells me that this is exactly as his trauma happened. I position myself right beside him and wait for him to speak. I couldn't rush him now.
Well, this is it.
He clenches the pendant close in his chest.
Would you sit with me, Monarch? We might be here for a while after all.
I will. He sits down on the ground, attracting stares from a few passerbys. I join him, caring more for his well-being than the judgment of those around us. Looking down at the ground, he places the pendant down and moves it around slightly.
It was right here, I think. You never really forget, you know. I hope it's not weird to sit here with me.
No. I let him do what he needs to do.
Coming here to face what happened. I needed to do this. But now I'm not sure what to do next. I mean, with the pendant. Do I leave it behind, just like my memories, or do I hold on?
That was a good question. And I can tell it that it's bothering him.
I'm sure someone will just come around and steal it anyway. But maybe that's for the best. It can be somebody else's burden. I think I've grown tired of carrying it around for my entire life. However, I also don't want to regret doing this. I could be acting rashly in the face of our final battle. It wouldn't be the first time somebody has done that, you know.
Yeah. I nod and let him speak.
Look at me. The world is at stake, and I'm worried about this. You know what? With everything you've done for us, I trust you. What do you think I should do, Monarch? Take it, or leave it? Besides, I'm a bit biased here in almost every regard. Your head is more clear than mine, so it's worth a shot. What do you think I should do here? What's the right choice?
Some people, probably lots of people, would say if it's bringing you bad memories, you should leave it and move on. And true, I was actually about to just click on that. But I would never want to forget her. I would never want to forget her. It might be hard. It might be painful sometimes. But hold on to her. She is your mom, and she saved your life. Think of all the other happier memories of her.
You're probably right, and I don't want to make a mistake. Perhaps just coming here after all those years was enough. You have no idea how much this means to me, Monarch.
Probably not. But I do know that it does mean something to you. He picks up the pendant off the ground and clutches it in his hand. We both stand up and turn back in the direction we came from.
Well then, should we get going?
Yeah. I nod, and we start to walk back the way we came. But Dominic looks much happier and content than he did earlier. Perhaps the events of today would give him a clearer mind in the future. As our final battle was imminent, we would find out sooner rather than later. And I did not gain his loyalty. I did feel like he should move on, but I personally wouldn't want to forget. And it's not like you lose the memory. Well, crap. Anyways. We'll continue the last two next time. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And I know these videos are uploaded very spaced, and there's no excuse for that. I can totally upload all these right now if I wanted to. It's not that hard. In fact, uploading takes like 2 minutes. I just wanted to make it feel like, I guess, mentally, I think that if it's not bombarded onto you all at once, then you'll feel like there's something to find out when you're uploading, when it's uploaded. And you have many other videos that you're watching, I'm sure. I watch some videos myself. And having too many videos to watch, my day passes by way too quick. So I don't want to add to the bombardment. So, I'm glad you guys are still here after 50 episodes plus. You guys must really like the story. So, thank you guys for stopping by. And until I see you guys again, have a great day, everyone.